This is assignment 6 in Excel, and it is the advanced sorting techniques, and I've jumped ahead to the part on extracting filtered rows. So you have created a database of information on the Fall 2016 worksheet, and a lot of information out there, and you had already made the changes as to changing the delivery mode to online. You also included, I don't know what else we had to change, but in any case, what I'm about to show you is how to do an extract. The first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to take this title column and you're actually going to copy it onto line 2. Okay, we're going to use that to create our criteria. And notice how up underneath I have that space line empty, and then I type my criteria on my sort filters up there. Now, the fact that this is labeled criteria, that's not essential. It doesn't really have anything to do with it other than it's telling you that that's the criteria that you're setting is coming from those 2 lines underneath it. Okay. All right. So again, if you select the 2 lines, you can go in and you can type in that this is going to be criteria, and you need to set it that way. Okay. And so by typing it in there, it becomes a name, right? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to select your database, and from titles all the way down to the bottom of the database. So it's 283, I believe. It should be, depending on how you did your lines, okay? But 283, column X. I do have rows or columns hidden because I didn't need to show them, and it was hard for me to manage my database if I had them open. And they're not as relevant to me, so I hid them. They're still there though. Okay, so then in there we type the word database in the name box. If you choose not to type it there, you can define the name. You could put it in the name manager, right? But essentially an extract is going to say, look at my data and extract certain information based on my criteria. So again, criteria is defined up here. Next in my instructions, I basically ask you to take the top 2 lines, okay, and copy them down below. Okay, so home, copy. And the reason that you're doing that is so that you can paste the data underneath it. Okay, so again, mine is already completed, but I would paste it right there. And it says, for me, says the data's already there. And then I asked you to edit this one to show that it is going to capture your online. Okay, now from the standpoint of mine's already finished, this is the output that it should look like. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit the clear all so that I can start from scratch and show you what would happen. Okay, so again, I've scrolled all the way to the top of the screen. Here's criteria. I want to do a search and I want to extract stuff from my database that meets this criteria. Like I can say a specific instructor. If I want to put Mirren in there, I could do that, or a specific CRN. But it's pretty limited as to what we have out here. In fall 2016, we don't have instructors assigned yet. So therefore, I couldn't make you include that. Okay, so what I did was ask you to pick all online accounting courses offered in the 16-week full term. So now that I've established my criteria, I'm going to go to the Data tab. I'm going to use the Advanced Filtering technique, and I'm going to say, notice that it already told me what my list range is, and notice it's picking up my whole database from A5 all the way to 283. Because it knows database is a defined name for this advanced filtering technique. Now in the criteria range, if you look, it's got the code for that line 2. Okay, so it's looking for where's my criteria, and my criteria is these 2 lines. You should not have to do that. Okay, it knows and searches by the word criteria. Okay, so it just put that in there. I hope it works. But it should have the A2 field in there. Now, if you just hit OK, what happens, okay, it filters in place. So this is interesting, but not what I wanted you to do, okay? So I'm going to reverse it, and then I'll do it again. So when you do that, notice that my whole big database filtered down to what I wanted to see. I only wanted to see online courses for accounting that were full term. So it listed them all, and I can see that I have 5 courses out here. But notice that I've got gaps between the numbers here, and I don't really want to see all those gaps, okay? So for instance, if I did a copy paste, it's going to copy all the rows in between too. And so this is why you would use that advanced filter technique. Let me hit undo. Okay, so again, this time what I want to do is I want to extract it and I want to copy it elsewhere. So again, notice that this time, even though it did pick criteria from my defined name, it's now picking the area where criteria is listed. Same thing. So I'm going to copy to another location. Right now, that's a lot of scrolling, so I have to minimize my dialog box here, and then it'll allow me to go to where I want to take it. Okay, so I want to scroll all the way down, and I need to take it to the field where I have those same titles. Okay, and then I click back on here and I say okay. And even though it went all the way back up to the beginning, what I want to show you is it did just, oh, it put in the online class right in here, okay? At this point, I've only searched for criteria for online. Now what I want to do is I want to change it, and I want to see what all my blended classes are. So I'm back at the beginning, okay? And I want to do the advanced filter. So then here I'm going to have to enter that. So I hit the check mark to enter without moving, hit the advanced filter. This time I don't want to copy over in the same place I was before. I want to take it to another location. So if I take it back to here, it's going to replace the one that I have as online. And I don't really want you to do that. I want you to put it down below. Now I did skip a step. I did tell you to copy and put blended and online on 295 and 296. So you're probably going to have to fall in on where these terms are. And I'm hoping this works because I forgot to copy first. All right, so let me see if that'll work. It did. Okay, it even copied my title for me, my title row. Okay, so again. So it took everything that I had as blended and it just pasted it down below. Again, one of the things I had asked you to do was to copy these two columns before you did the blended. I can do the same thing now. Copy, copy, paste down below, paste. Okay, and I wanted to change this, not to, oops, sorry, hit the wrong key. I wanted to change this to show that these are not online, but these are blended. And that was essentially what this extract is intended to do. Okay. Okay. I think you know that Control Home takes you to the beginning. Okay. If you were somewhere down in the middle, you could go right to your criteria and it would take you right up to the top as well. Okay. And again, Control Home take you right to your first line. That's it. Thanks.